sometimes when I meet people who are very intellectual and they talk very fast, and there's, you can just see that they're very at home in their intellect, I can get a little bit, I can start to feel myself feeling inadequate, like I can't keep up, I'm not following the thread of the conversation, I'm not good enough, I don't understand. I can kind of feel this. And the more I raise my own sense of like just chutzpah, like I don't know if that's the right word, but just the sense of like I'm all right, like I'm not failing, there's nothing wrong with me. Like the more I remove my own inadequacy, imagined inadequacy, of course, well, not entirely imagined, sometimes it's real, but the neurotic kind of inadequacy that just haunts you all the time, and the self-doubt and all of that. So now that I think I've got a pretty good grip on that, and I don't tend to spiral into unhelpful loops of self-doubt and self-sabotage and all of that, when I meet someone who's really, really heady, really intellectual, and they talk fast, and it's like so many ideas kind of coming thick and fast, I notice myself start to like tighten or close up, or just like a kind of safety mechanism coming in. And then recently, well, this has happened a few times. People have come to me for like my gift sessions, right? So I've never met them before, and I'm there to try and help them get a shift. And sometimes I feel like, God, I've got no idea what they're talking about. They're just talking so fast. I can't keep up with them. And I start to feel like, oh shit, how am I ever going to help them? How am I going to help them to get the shift that they have come for? But the more I'm able to just not go into my story about it and stay present with them, the more I find that this is actually a problem. Like, this is almost like that thing that made me shut down is the thing that they're coming to me for, because the more and more I do these sessions, the more I find the person is disconnected from, like, they're all up here, it's all mind, brain energy, and they're not coming from here. And I guess that maybe I have found that a bit intimidating in the past, because I very much come from, well, I don't know, I mean, I think a lot of the time I'm coming from here. But yeah, the more I'm able to drop my own story, the more I can see that how I am, I need to, like, I almost want to just say, can you just slow down? I just can't follow what you're saying. You're talking at me so fast. I can't keep up. Can you just stop? Can you take a breath? Like, let me catch up with you. I just can't keep up, right? But and I haven't so far. I haven't really done that, apart from with people I love, and Rob and I have always had a joke about how I've historically, actually, when we met 10 years ago and we were teaching together, we had this joke about how I needed a Betty break, like how I just needed a minute to just kind of catch up when there was just a lot of heady stuff going on, because I think I'm just not intellectual. I'm just not interested really in the intellect. And the more confident I become in myself as a person, the more okay I am with saying that. Like, we idolize the intellect in the West as if it's like, yeah, it's God. But we've lost touch with our bodies and with our hearts. And so I just had one of my gift sessions with a person who with whom this happened, right? And I started to feel inadequate, like, oh shit, how am I going to help them? But instead of going into my story, I just stayed present. And actually what happened was I was able to bring, I got them to close their eyes and tune the energy inside and like locate there where this person was telling me that they were an excellent strategist, but they were struggling to connect their own excellence in that department with themselves because they were so used to people pleasing. And so they're always doing all the strategizing for other people, but never for themselves. And it's like a self-worth issue, right? That we're not, and a people pleasing thing, like we're used to doing everything for everyone else, but never for ourselves. So I just wanted this person to connect their head and their heart. And when they dropped their attention into their heart, suddenly the tears started. Why? Because the heart was bricked up, completely restricted, like a brick wall had been built around the heart. Up here, the energy was buzzing and full and exploding out of the head, but the heart, no, completely bricked up. And I could feel, as this person spoke, I could feel the restrictive, like, nature of this brick wall that had been placed there. And then so we did this parts work. We dialogued with the part of this person who had built the brick wall around the heart, and it turned out that they were 8 when it had happened. And the reason to keep themselves small, to keep themselves safe, so that they wouldn't draw attention to themselves, so that they wouldn't outshine a sibling. And it was still there 30 plus years later. And what was happening now is that person, yeah, like I said, couldn't connect the head, the strategy with their own life, their own desires. So I wanted to like open up this channel. And what happened is we connected and we saw that the heart was behind a brick wall. So I said, well, what does it need? Can we knock the brick wall down? Can we take a few bricks out? Can we expand it? Can we like let some light in? And I just encouraged the person to take a few breaths and just give the heart what it needed. And it's just with the power of the imagination, but the imagination is extremely powerful. Your attention and your intention and your awareness is, when it's focused in on the right thing, is extremely powerful. And just asking, what do you need? And then allowing, like the person said, they needed to redecorate. Actually, this is the second time this has happened recently, that there was the analogy of like a heart in a house in the heart. And the house needed redecoration, it needed space, it needed light, it needed to take a few bricks out of the wall. It wasn't ready. They weren't ready to knock the wall down. They actually wanted some of that protection there. And so I said, fine, great. What does it need? It needs redecorating. So redecorate, take a few breaths. Imagine that you're redecorating. Imagine that you take a few bricks out. And as soon as the part that's created this as a coping mechanism, as soon as that part realizes that it's not helping, because it was there, that part of them built this wall to protect them. But as soon as they realize, that part realized, this is like an adaptation. This is because it wasn't safe to be how they were as a child. They created this as an adaptation, as a way of keeping safe. But of course, that can only restrict you, only stop you from living the life that you want to live. How can you get in touch with your desires if your heart is bricked up? yeah, so that's it for today. And wishing you lots of love and joy and a beautiful light-filled house. If you wish a house around your heart, or just beautiful light and spaciousness around your heart, so that the love can flow inwards and outwards, so that you can shine your light and be outrageous and wonderful and glorious and technicolor, and spread your love and light through the world, because the world needs that. The world needs you shining your unique light, because it's in a pretty bad situation right now. And you know, every single one of us who is able to express ourselves and lighten another's life is extremely valuable right now. With lots of love, and I'll see you next time. Bye.